Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. So this morning's message is a hard one for me. I've been really praying on how do I bring this out. Bring this out in the treehouse, bring this into you, bring this out in the world, and do it in a way that's respectful, but very honest. You know, this has been on my heart now for quite some time, probably a few years, maybe longer, but definitely these last few years, certainly these last few months, and definitely these last few weeks and days. I want to call today, and I'm calling myself out, to speak to something I'm calling spiritual patriotism. Spiritual patriotism. You know, I grew up in a little town in Vermont where I remember very clearly things like 4th of July, and I remember things like the red, white, and blue, and I remember things like flags when I was a little boy, my relationship with those things. And oh my goodness, you couldn't ever keep me from sporting what it meant to actually don those colors during the 4th of July or anytime. I was all about it, during the Olympics, and oh my goodness. And you know, I'm still that way. I'm still a huge believer in the United States of America. But I'm really struggling these days with how patriotism is showing up in certain circles. I'm gonna just own my lane here. I'm not gonna judge what others claim to be their patriotism. I believe it's very individual. It's very personal. But here's what's interesting. I believe that whatever it is that you and I may be feeling about patriotism these days, it needs to be an elevation, and it needs to be coming from a space of love. I think too many times I'm seeing how patriotism is falling into a place where it's us versus them. It's pointing fingers at someone who may not vote or had vote a certain way, how someone certainly looks at one's role in this country, and how certain constitutional pieces to our democracy and all the things that we uphold as primal truths here in this country, they are really being challenged. Because I believe under all of what's going on right now is love. A love for country, but I'm more than that, a love for common humanity. Let's get really clear about that. Love for country is fabulous, but if you don't have a love for common humanity, then what is this country? What is your country if there's not a love for common humanity? Every single walk, all faiths, all orientations, every single human being, all beings. Because if we're not fully connected to that idea first and foremost, we don't have patriotism at the truest sense, the most powerful sense of that word. So we're getting an opportunity right here and right now to look around this country. And if you don't live here in the United States, I'm sure there's varying degrees of what it is that you call patriotism in your country and what you align with in your country. But I believe so strongly, no matter where you live, common humanity has to be the source of what allows your country to have patriotism, to have connection, to have communion, to have community. You know, I'm going to do something that I've been doing it's okay, it's like so okay over these last few years, but I am really challenging myself these days to do it better than others. I'm going to give myself the opportunity to screen before. I'm going to live slowly these days. I'm going to be doing everything I can to slow my life down. So if I feel I have something I need to say, or more importantly, something I'm starting to feel or think about how it is that this world could be or needs to be, or starting to marginalize something that I feel isn't the way I think it should be, I want to kind of galvanize within myself the feeling and the expression of love. I want to do it through prayer. I want to do it through meditation. I want to do it through presence. I want to do it through compassion and acceptance and forgiveness. But oh my goodness, if there's something I need to say, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to do my very best to say it in a way that absolutely elevates and not depresses. It encourages versus discourages. It raises versus lowers the energy. That's hard. But I do believe as a patriot, and patriotism doesn't need necessarily to be like beating your chest and saying, hey, look at us, we're the best, make America great again, all that stuff. Make yourself great again. James, make yourself great again. At one time in my life, I believe I didn't have a lot of what's going on inside of me. But because at one time I did have it, I know it's inside of me still. And that's what's really inspiring me these days. I want to bring that back out again. I don't care if it offends people that I want to stand for all walks, all faiths, all orientations, all races, everyone, because I believe that is the essence of true patriotism. That's the truth for me. And I believe it's the truth for everyone. But layers get in between. Layers of fear, layers of disappointment, layers of stuff because we feel like somebody or something got in the way of our freedom. Well, you know what? Freedom is something we all curate first and foremost inside of ourselves. And yes, it can come in having the voice that you believe you need to have, and having the free speech that you'd love to have, and demonstrating that in all kinds of ways. But if your freedom starts to actually diminish another human being, then it's no longer free. Then it's a language of hate. Then it's a language of non-patriotism. It's a language of non-community and non-common humanity. That's the truth. And some people don't want to hear that these days. Well, you know what? That's work to do for all of us, isn't it? Because I'm using my judgment right here as I state that, what I believe to be the truth. But I think for all of us, we have to understand the power of emotional contagion, moral contagion, which I believe is really powerful patriotism in action. You being a good human being and do it in a way that you drop your ego and you raise your heart. And when you do that, you become a compelling possibility for patriotism. The kind of patriotism that brings everyone together as one. The one that sees the land of the free and the home of the brave. And first and foremost, the brave are the ones who say yes to all walks and all faiths and all orientations and all races. All common humanity. That's truly the home of the brave, where we can absolutely get out of our own way and welcome all beings. True patriotism. It's here for us. And we've got work to do. But my goodness, do I believe this is the best work that we can do together. It's not about country, it's about the world. It's not about the world only, it's about the universe. It's about the God in all of us, being presented as us, bringing us together as one. So with that, thank you. Much love and all the blessings. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.